What's poppin', y'all? It looks like the Cold War between Akademiks and Charlamagne is heating up even more. On the side of Charlamagne now, it looks like it's turning into a lukewarm war. And on the last episode of Rock Ball Z, in this scenario with Jay-Z and Charlamagne being on one side and Akademiks being on the receiving end, this all started when Charlamagne gave a, quote, heads up to Akademiks saying, hey man, I think you should be aware of things that are going on. He didn't need to do this. Charlamagne did not need to do this. But to be fair, he's trying to pretend like it just came across his desk, when in a previous video, I gave evidence that 3 months ago, he was talking about, oh yeah, these people should be aware that these things are coming down the pipeline. So he was definitely ahead of time with it, but Akademiks decided to crash out on Charlamagne, which was very odd because Charlamagne, while I do think he was trying to sow division between Akademiks and the people around him, he didn't have to say anything. He could have just not mentioned it at all. So what Akademiks does is have Akademiks TV, his page, even though he just uses it as a way to attack people without taking any responsibility for it. So this page starts resurfacing the worst allegations and controversies Charlamagne has had to face throughout his career. And Charlamagne, he would finally respond and amp it up even more this week. After last week on The Brilliant Idiots, he was just saying like, yo, I don't know why these guys are coming after me. I don't know what's up with Ak, but this time, he's going for Ak's mans.
Just saying. I saw some panicking last week.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Tell me now.
I saw some panicking.
Tell me now.
Yo. Can you ask whoever edited the episode not to dox my pic? Charlotte mentioning crypto, not trying to get my home invaded. Oh, oh, Hold on.
Who's panicking?
I saw some, hold on. Said I'm cooperating and that I stole $4 million from Ak with a 3-hour call from Charla. And Ak was like, he was mad because he no longer controls narratives. And Ak's clips all over the timeline. Then said he's a part of it. Charla working with them and it's Rock Nation, trying to harass with lawsuits because no way any of these lawsuits and investigations real. Haven't spoken to anyone. Ak said it's Charla.
Yeah, How you getting this?
How you throw your man under the bus?
Where you getting this information?
Yo, George Wynn, how you throw your man under the bus? Oh, Ak called me right away after telling me he's capped. And then a day later, Jeremy Heck comes out with the same info that Charlotte has, saying Ak funded by Republicans and Drake is Trump funded, and he's also doxing me. So Ak tells me take the gloves off.
What?
What the George?
That's George texting that?
George Wynn?
How'd you get
George?
Hold on.
Why doesn't George want his picture out?
How do you?
Hold on. But why doesn't George Wynn want his picture out? How can George get on Akademiks TV? How can George get on the internet and have all of these people say the most salacious, wild shit about folks, but he doesn't want his pics out? He thinks people are doxing him? Are you serious? And why? Why is he so afraid of crypto?
What's wrong? Why?
I don't know.
I feel like when you're saying why
he said Charlotte mentioning crypto, not trying to get my home invaded. Why would your home get invaded, George Wynn, in Australia?
So this whole doxing thing, right? And this whole crypto thing. Now, this all started with this ridiculous civil lawsuit from New Jersey, I think it was, saying that Drake, Stake, Aiden Ross, they're all involved in this cabal to bot the streams. And a little bit of it is nonsense, this civil lawsuit. However, Akademiks and I feel like people around Akademiks are trying to portray everything here as nonsense, and I do not believe that. So number one is Akademiks TV in this case, and Charlamagne keeps name dropping him. He's basically like, this is Charlamagne working, and this is why Charlamagne is way more brilliant, and these guys are out of their depth dealing with him because they fired their load. What else are you going to bring up on Charlamagne? Nothing. And nothing has happened. No institution that's behind him has said, oh yeah, he needs to drop an apology. Nobody cares. So what else can you possibly do to Charlamagne? Nothing. with that being said, the doxing thing, it's funny that Akademiks TV was upset with the whole doxing thing because I found this comment from an individual that I am not sure if it is true. I reached out, I didn't get a response from this person, but this person said, the funniest part about this is that Akademiks TV doxed me because he thought I was leaking Drake's music 4 hours before Iceman was going to come out. And there was a song leaked a couple of hours before Iceman, if you guys recall. I forgot what the name, there wasn't a real name of the song, but there was a song that leaked and it was a good song actually. So thanks to whoever leaked it, I enjoyed that track. So there's this person saying that, oh yeah, if you're willing to dox somebody for leaking Drake's music, which is very odd because one of the accusations is that Drake runs Akademiks TV. And everybody talks about how, oh no, that's not true, this and that. But if you look at Akademiks TV, you scroll through the pages, Drake might as well run it because there is nothing critical ever. Nothing even remotely, I don't even know, like pushback, criticism, this is mid. It's nothing but absolute glaze, like the old Krispy Kremes where they used to make the donuts there, not the ones that they ship in the box that they have at CVS and stuff. Like, get that out of my face. We're talking about the actual Krispy Kremes where they got the glaze machine laying it on top of each donut. That is what the Akademiks TV account is. And anybody that is in any way opposing to Drake, even the slightest, gets an absolute onslaught and barrage of attacks every which way. Like, let me just show you an example of something. So here it says in a tweet from August 13, 2025, for the host crying about Drake demanding to see Kendrick's history of alleged DV against Whitney, Drake is also offering discovery from January 2009 to 2025 of any documentation relating to his criminal history, including background checks and reports. He was called a snitch, a PDF, accused of fathering a secret daughter and being a registered offender. These documents will prove he is none of those things. Can Kendrick say the same? Dude, this looks like something that a Kevin Durant would be doing on his alt account. At least he would be getting his own hands dirty. But Drake was called all of this stuff on a song, which is not meant to be taken seriously. He is presenting all of this in actual documentation and suing, which is just like, it's sucker activity. So these are two completely different things. He lost a beef because of a song and maneuvering. But yeah, that's an example of it. Now, you guys want to see another example? This tweet, 14-year-old Emmett Till was dragged from his house and was kidnapped, tortured, and lynched by a mob of white people after falsely being accused of raping a young girl. And then he uses this to compare it to Conan O'Brien, a late night show comedian, accused Drake of raping a minor at the Oscars, and the culture celebrated and laughed. LOL, is this what the culture feeling, lying on innocent black men? Do you see how this is the most tone deaf thing ever? And this is Charlamagne saying like, yo, this guy's from Australia. And he's sending tweets like this that are, this is beyond tone deaf. This is beyond glaze. This is Overcooked. And we're not talking about the video game Overcooked. Or is that Cooking Mama? Or is that like something that happens in Cooking Mama when you overcook something? This is burnt. How do you even think this is a level of glaze that nobody could come up with except this account. I don't even think Drake would come up with this. So where do the validity of the accusations that I believe, in my personal opinion, come from with Charlamagne? I think this guy's panicking because of crypto-related things and money-related things, which Charlamagne would get into.
About folks, getting
guys,
money via crypto.
Guys on the internet.
And it could be violating illegal gambling law. Listen, this is what I was told. I was told that there could be illegal gambling laws. It could be money laundering statutes. It could be wire fraud. It could be conspiracy charges. It could be potential campaign or advertising disclosure violations. This is what I'm hearing. So when I see somebody say they don't want their picture out there, and they're afraid of being attached to crypto, saying things like their home can get invaded, that sounds like some panicking to me, buddy. That's all I'm saying.
You know The Wire?
Now, a point for Akademiks here is when Akademiks was saying like, yo, how are you going to give me a heads up and not tell me who gave you the information? Because you hear Charlamagne saying, yo, I'm hearing. Who are you hearing this from? And I do think there's a validity here because this is what's happening. You guys remember that Emmett Till post that I showed you guys earlier? A lot of these posts, they had a stake logo attached to them. And what happened was, and this program ended. Now it's a kick program. But for a couple of years, what would happen is you would see all of these logos. You'd be like, yo, why does all these pages have stake logos? Well, they would get paid out buy steak for the amount of impressions that they would generate. So this was kind of an ad, the whole Emmett Till tweet and many of those things, because you're promoting this, you're getting paid based on what this does, but you're not disclosing that it's an ad, which is violating US law. It's a gray area a little bit, but I don't know how that law works in Australia. But this is the thing. Now this guy's running Kick. So you'll see Kick logos across everything Akademiks TV. Like for me on my personal X page, you don't see Kick logos. Anything I post is curated by me without any monetary incentive as of yet. Like if you start seeing Kick logos on my thing, I'm getting paid based on the Kick clips, but it would still be curation on my taste, personal taste. With that being said, so this guy, Steak, is paying all of these people, including the Kick people that are posting Kick clips now, because the Steak program got ended and they shifted it to Kick. That's why you don't see Steak logos anymore on X or anywhere for that matter, for the most part. So they're paying them via crypto. So if you're Akademiks TV, you're in Australia, you're receiving money via crypto, what are you reporting on your taxes? That's something that they might be talking about. Are you saying that, and this is also another thing, if you are putting out posts that are politically related and then you have the Steak logo on it, there might be legal grounds there as well, which maybe you're not directly taking political money, but you're making money based off of like politics, clips. I don't really know too much over there, but I think the worst thing is wire fraud and potentially tax evasion. And I think they're talking about like, free speech laws in Australia, but everything is above board for the most part, especially international business structure for a company like Steak. Like they're reporting, they don't even have to pay taxes. They're set in a place where Curacao or something like that, where all the casinos are set up. These guys that are getting paid, it's their responsibility to report their income to whatever government country they reside in. So if this guy's making millions of dollars in crypto, I don't think he wants to tell the Australian government, hey guys, just made 3 million this year. But if he's getting investigated and a private investigator making this stuff public, well, now you're in trouble. And that's also why you would be concerned about your identity being put out there. And this is Charlamagne playing, and this is why like these guys, they are powerful digitally. Like I said, they are responsible for people like Drake having such a strong image online and being able to mobilize, clip armies, and because Drake embraced this technology. But institutionally speaking, they have no power, especially to a Charlamagne. But they don't understand that, and they took on a battle that I don't think they should have taken on. And Akademiks inherited a battle that he shouldn't have inherited, in my honest opinion. And when Akademiks is trying to defend this guy saying, oh yeah, these people are just coming after him and it's unfair with how people are coming at him, I don't think that's the case, because this isn't a freedom of speech type of situation. We're not even talking about the legal freedom of speech, because let's pull up Akademiks' own thoughts and comments on an individual, Chud the Builder.
There's a guy who just responded to me. We're talking about Chud the Builder. He's out of Nashville, Tennessee, or actually he's in Nashville, Tennessee. He's from Clarksville, Tennessee. Basically, he kind of like,
I know who he is.
Yeah, he goes up to people. He says, hey, listen, he believes in freedom of speech, but then he kind of goes, kind of almost like, a little bit antagonizing, and he'll say the N-word, this and third. Now, wherever people fall on that is whatever, but what I've seen with that is that it's borderline really antagonistic, and I responded to it, and I said, listen, you know what? What's going to happen here is, because there's something about how he's doing it. It's not just the word, right? Like there's some people who actually believe that the word should not be. Okay, that's not what we're arguing. It's the way he's doing it. Some people, well, not some people, most people feel like it's really antagonizing. Anyway, that's not even the conversation. He responded to a video that I said, what's going to happen is this. You've gotten so many people in the black community feeling a way, right, about how you operate, that even if someone swings on you and assaults you, when that person gets out, he's going to have like $100,000 on a GoFundMe. And I don't know if that's worth it, because it's not that you're picking bad actors and most people will be able to agree with you like on how you're acting. It feels like you're the antagonist, and that's where you're going to lose people. Anyway.
Antagonistic, okay. Saying words that really harm people, okay. And you can't be upset when somebody gets really angry about the things that you were saying. What does that sound like? That sounds like Akademiks TV. Because let's just pull up an example of Akademiks TV and what he said about Anthony Joshua immediately after his two friends died in a tragic car accident and Anthony Joshua barely survived.
Just incorrect information going around. I think we should all wait for like official sources to kind of give us a debrief of what happened. As well, I think a post did go out via one of my pages that was absolutely incorrect, and I believe it was taken down. I wasn't even aware at the time when it went up, but it was taken down as quickly as it was realized that the information wasn't correct. But yeah, it's just a very sad situation, and I can't even imagine what he's going through, and
So Akademiks here are saying, yeah, we saw this post, like one of my pages put it up and took it down as soon as the news came out. You're probably thinking, oh, they just reported that maybe they got an incorrect report that Anthony Joshua might have too. No, it's actually much worse than that, because the clip said the following: Anthony Joshua has killed two others in a car crash. Anthony Joshua reportedly sustained injuries following a road collision in Nigeria that claimed the lives of two individuals. Do you see how freaking insane this is? This guy, Anthony Joshua, he just won a fight with Jake Paul. He goes to celebrate with his two closest friends in Nigeria. They die. The driver is the person that's responsible for them dying. Anthony Joshua was not driving. Anthony Joshua is severely harmed in this situation. But even if Anthony Joshua was the driver, to say that he killed two others, this isn't misreporting. This isn't getting the facts wrong. This is intentionally malicious. And I don't know if the issue is with Anthony Joshua or if it's views by any means necessary. I think it's views by any means necessary. And you've even got people replying to it saying a post goes up from Akademiks TV that's wrong or spreading misinformation every day, including the Anthony Joshua car crash. But making light of is reflective of how trash that account is. It's not the first time. When they mocked Emmett Till, I knew they wasn't ish. So Akademiks TV is a digital chud. That's what he is. He's a digital chud. At least Chud the Builder, right? We can give him the respect of, not even respect, but we can give him the kudos of this guy pulled up and he was being antagonistic towards people in person. And after a year and a half, somebody finally tried to hit him or something like that. This guy, his man's, Akademiks, is doing this digitally to people. Anthony Joshua disrespecting him, anyone associated, anybody that's even remotely in a beef, however soft, with Akademiks, this page turns it up to 11, turns it up to 15. And Charlamagne even says that this guy Grand told him to take the gloves off. So what Charlamagne is also revealing slyly is that Akademiks controls who gets attacked on this page and who doesn't, because Akademiks said that post got taken down. So if you can take down posts on that account, but you can also wave your hands and say, oh, I can't control those guys. This is like, don't take us for fools. Like, it's almost spitting in our faces like you guys are absolute idiots, which we're not. So when people that are very powerful get to fighting back in the way that they can on Akademiks TV, you can't be like, yo, they're going too far. They're sending private investigators. I mean, Akademiks didn't say they went too far by punching Chud. And this guy is like, he's spreading the rumors of like Dave Free. He's trying to ruin families, trying to paint Kendrick Lamar as some guy that's doing DV, doing what he's doing to Charlamagne right now, trying to resurface this stuff. Like, just scroll. There are heinous posts on that page. And the general sentiment here is that, like Akademiks said, even if it's quote unquote free speech for Chud, nobody's going to feel bad for him because he's antagonistic. That's the thing with Akademiks TV. Nobody, no matter what happens to Akademiks TV, nobody that's fair and honest is going to say, damn, they went too far on that guy. Nobody's going to say that. They can't in good faith say that unless they are biased, associated with him, making money with him, something like that. Because I see it and I'm just like, dog, you built this bed for yourself. Nobody can say, man, that page is kind of fair. I've seen them show Kendrick props. I've seen them, say that this Drake song sucked. I've seen them, not take it too far in certain situations. No, you've only seen the opposite of that. So whatever happens, people are going to be like, yeah, it is what it is. I don't feel bad for dude. And that's just the nature of the game. So Charlamagne here, I think he's operating at a high level. And these guys, they should have just fell back. Like, what do you get from trying to mess with people that are as powerful as a Jay-Z, especially reputation-wise, and trying to do, I think they just thought that they were safe because, hey, we're down under, as they call it, and nobody will bother me here. But when you're influencing things like that, people will go to the ends of the world. Reputation, most important thing. But let me know what y'all think about this in the comments. Like and subscribe and hit the notification bell if you enjoyed. And I'm going to see y'all in the next episode of Rock Ball Z.